Okay, got it. Yeah, so we can start now.
Yeah, please start.
Yeah, audience, can you confirm if I'm audible? Anyone from the audience other than the host?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Oh, okay, thank you. My introduction is done. So I would love to hear from a couple of people from the audience, your introduction so that I know my audience before we start. Just basic, your name and what are you doing? That would be enough. So can we start? Let's be proactive, interactive, and let's not make this a monologue. Rather, let's make it interactive and an interesting session.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. My name is Rifa and I'm pursuing diploma in communication engineering.
Walaikum salam. Very nice to have you. Yeah, someone else want to take it up?
Assalamu alaikum, this is Farid here, and I am a telecom engineer working in Ericsson right now.
Very nice. Welcome to the session. One last person, one chance.
Sir, I am Sadi. I am pursuing computer science engineering.
Great. Welcome all. So before we kickstart the session, one question would be, what are your expectations from the session? Like, what are your filters? What's your perception as to what the topic is going to be? Anyone can just take a few seconds and let me know your expectations so that we bridge the gap if there is any. Looking at the topic, let me know what perception you have about the session. Anyone can go just for a few seconds. No expectations. Anything which that comes to your mind, seeing the topic, that okay, this is the session maybe, so that even I have a clear picture as to what your expectations are, and we can take it from there.
To get the better career in coming years, to understand which field will be better for us.
Very good, nice. Anyone else?
And if you are a job applicant, then how to improve your performance as a job applicant.
Perfect. Very nice. Uh, so let me just give a brief introduction about the topic and what you can expect from the session, so that that will be interesting, and you can even note down uh, what all you feel is relevant and important to you. So basically, the topic is campus to corporate, and in this topic, rather than focusing on academic qualifications, rather than focusing on certifications which are required, the most important uh, forum of discussion in this would be that what skills are required and what attitude shift is required to be a better professional. Because especially for freshers and for folks who are just 1 to 2 years or 2 to 3 years of experience, we are still in that campus mode. We have to come out of that campus mode, that spoon feeding culture, and we have to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. And what are the key skills that are required for you to have this shift from campus to corporate that would help you being a better professional? So that's going to be the main discussion today. Hope you have a wonderful takeaway in this, and hope this is fruitful for both me and the audience. So let's kickstart. So in our presentation, the very first uh, um, thing which I have picked is being positive. Just let's just read this. A positive attitude is the guide to leading a positive life. If you are feeling down and having a particularly negative outlook on the way things are going, just remember that attitude is everything. And a positive attitude will lead you out of the darkest of times. So let's start with this. So when you are in corporate, you'll have a lot of situations to tackle, a lot of situations which are not in your hand, a few situations which are not in your favor, a few deadlines, deliverables. There will be so many things since you're shifting from a student to a corporate professional. So there will be many things. So one thing to tackle all of this, one skill, one behavior which we need to imbibe is being positive. We have to shift our vision and come out of negativity and see in the worstest of the situation what is a positivity which you can sense, and you have to take that positive thing. Because as we have heard a lot of times in many presentations or maybe in our real life as well, that whatever you do, the beginning is always the hardest. Let's take an example of simple example of learning how to ride a bicycle. The beginning is always the hardest, and once you clear that and you don't give up and you continue learning, once you learn the bicycle, we see people riding the bicycle even without even using the handle, while leaving their hands and riding it with one wheel. So this is how uh, the starting looks like. It is always the toughest. So the one thing, the one skill which can get us out of it is being positive. You can see there is a picture in this presentation slide. The picture is a glass filled with half water. So few people will who are in who have a positive mindset will see this glass in a vision wherein they can say that this is half filled with water, and few who are pessimistic people, they will feel that this is half empty. But who are opportunists, who want to grab opportunities, who do not want to leave any opportunity, they will look at it as it is half filled with water and half filled with air. So this is how we need to grab opportunity, be positive, and out of any situation we need to see what is good in this, and we have to take that. The next thing is discipline. um, Few things which we need to carry from campus to corporate. One of the most ideal thing is discipline. We all know that the school life is very disciplined than the college life and the degree life. But have you ever wondered that why there are so many rules, so many set regulations, obligations in our school life? That is because in the very early age, school teaches us, what is much required to be a better human being, to be a better professional, to be an asset to the society. But going on growing, as we grow, we leave this very important uh, attribute in our life, that is discipline. We don't be disciplined. Everything, all the basic things actually come in discipline. Like for example, being punctual, meeting the deadlines, how we are taught in school. Like for example, in school, let's say school ends at 4:30. We also come back home with a homework. It's not that okay, school is done, everything is done. No, we come back with the homework. We sit again after break. We just sit and see what's the homework and see what's our assignment. So these are small, and we have a set timetable of, as to how many hours are there, how many subjects are there, what assignments are there. So these all things look very, very basic, but these basic things, if we carry this and incorporate, only then we can achieve our goals. So discipline is very important. Being punctual, meeting the deadlines, neatness of our work, all of these things which we take it very lightly. These are the very strong behaviors, strong habits which actually lead us to success. So discipline is one of them. The next is for a better professional, for a better career, for prospective, what we need to do is we have to be curious. As you can see in this picture, a very catchy line which I saw was, The day you stop being curious is the day your career dies. So, out of the little corporate experience I have and educational qualification I have, what I could experience is that in no stage of life, no point of time you can say that you are fully qualified to do any job or fully skilled to do any job, especially in the modern environment we are in, where the technology is changing every single day. The technology is changing every single day. We have to be curious. So what does being curious mean? um, can anyone from the audience just tell me your understanding of being curious other than what's there on the slide? One keyword, what you understand out of being curious and why you feel it's important before I take it up. Anyone can unmute and talk.
If you are curious, then you can learn new things.
Perfect. Very well said. Very simply put. That is what it is. So being curious, um, see, for example, let's say you have a task in hand. You're an office and you have a task in hand, and you need to deliver the task in 3 to 4 hours, and you know how it is to be done. So the people who are curious, you know what they do. The first thing which they do is they see how can it be done. Some Are there any alternatives for this task to be executed instead of just following the SOP, instead of just doing what the others are doing. They tend to be curious and see how better can be executed, what else can be done, how innovatively it can be done. So these are the things which the corporate professionals are hired for. There is a very famous quote from a very famous company, Apple. It says that we don't hire people and tell them what to do. Rather, we hire people so that they can tell us what we should do. So these are curious people who have a lot of questions, who question the SOP, who question the system, and these are the people who bring innovative products. There is a famous quote from Steve Jobs as well, the founder of Apple, a very famous quote which where he says, uh, you know, um, "Be hungry, be foolish." So this is a very important attribute which very few individuals have. Once you start your corporate career, or if you are already in a corporate world, you might have noticed that people with this skill jump the career ladder very quickly. So we have to be curious, and we have to be very active always, and we have to start questioning the SOP. Following the SOP accurately is a very, very good thing. But better than that is questioning the SOP, questioning the standard operating procedures, questioning the system, and you coming up with ideas. So, in order to come up with ideas, you have to be curious. You have to see, why things are happening, how things are happening, what can be done better. For this very basic thing is you have to understand the entire background, understand the basic as to why we are doing what we are doing. You will see many individuals in corporate, they don't even know why they are doing what they are doing. It's just that they have been told 10 steps and they'll follow the 10 steps and bring out the output. They don't know how critical their work is. That's why they feel that it is monotonous and they quit jobs. So any task, it has a purpose to do. We have to know the purpose and we have to know how better it can be done. So this is what being curious is. um this is, for few people it is in nature that they are curious, but for few individuals who are not curious by nature, they slowly, we have to build this attitude within us, which is going to help us very, very much in order to move up the career ladder. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Are you following? Am I very fast? Or how do you feel all the things are relevant? What's your take so far? Before we move on, any suggestions as to how to take it up? It's Sunday, 4 o'clock.
It's fine. We can proceed.
It's fine. You're following. Everyone is following. One more confirmation, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So the next thing is self-learning. In school, especially in school and colleges, what happens is we have a lecturer, we have a professor, and they, teach us. And everything almost, especially in our Indian education system, everything is spoon-fed. Um, what to study, what syllabus, and how to take it up, whatever practicals it is, there is someone who is always teaching us, always with us. So this spoon feeding culture, especially freshers pay a lot for this in their corporate life, because once you're in corporate, you have to be industry ready. There is no one in the corporate, to make you industry ready. They expect that you are industry ready, and that's why you're hired. So one basic thing, one basic attitude, what we need to build is we have to be a self learner. We have to stop being dependent on anyone for anything. Like we said, the previous one, being curious, you have to be curious and you have to start learning by yourself. And these days, the instructor led training sessions are very less. Mostly it is pre-recorded. It is via videos or PDFs or screenshots. This is how people are professionals are getting trained, so that we learn by ourselves instead of having an instructor or a mentor. There are few trainings where definitely an instructor or mentor is required, but most of the tasks, what we need to do is, before going and asking anyone as to how this is to be done, we have to be curious enough, and we have to be a self learner, self dependent, and we have to start exploring as to how this can be done. Only then, only when we have done all our homework with full our potential, we have exhausted everything, and only then, if we are not understanding, the best option is definitely to ask. But before that, before putting our efforts, before doing our homework, we have to stop this attitude of first going and asking for someone's help. First we have to be curious, and we have to try learning things by ourselves, and only then approach to someone else. So this is a very, very important skill, important attribute which we need to build in order to be a better professional. So the next one is proactive rather than being reactive. And there's a very beautiful definition here. That's why I've just put it here. So what does being reactive mean? Reacting to the past rather than anticipating the future. However, proactive, it is acting before a situation becomes a source of confrontation or crisis. So uh, today, uh, one of the key skills which the corporate, especially why freshers are hired or the senior levels are hired, one of the most important skill people are looking is how proactive you are. Today gone the days where you need to be reactive, wait for the situation to come and then come up with a solution. No, today, how things are looked at, how professionals are expected to behave is, you have to be, we have to be proactive. We have to anticipate things before things go wrong. We have to see what might go wrong instead of reacting after something has gone wrong. We have to have that anticipation in mind, that okay, this might go wrong, what if this happens, what if this happens, what if this happens. And we have to have solutions ready in hand. Like for example, let's take a simple example. um, like for example, if we have electricity power cut issues, so what we do, we have UPS at home, or we have generator at home. That is what being proactive means, that okay, we cannot avoid this situation, power cut might happen, so what's my solution for that? Okay, I have a generator, I have a UPS. That's being proactive. Reactive in the same sense, it's like, okay, the power is gone, now what shall we do? This is being reactive. So reactive is never encouraged. We have to always be proactive. Or to be proactive, one good thing is, you have to start anticipating what can go wrong instead of just thinking what can go right. Only then you can have always a plan B, to execute. Because risk is something very natural. Everywhere it is there, and everywhere things can go wrong. So we have to always be proactive. Let's take another simple example of one complaint which we have, especially in our city, Bangalore, is there is heavy traffic. So because of which you are not able to reach your school on time, your college on time, your office on time, meetings on time. So a very simple thing, what simple reason what we give is, okay, Bangalore traffic is very heavy. Okay, that's a problem. So what a proactive individual does is, what can be done? Okay, traffic is there. That's anticipating the future. Okay, it'll be traffic. There will be traffic. So instead of starting half an hour early, you need to start 1 hour early. So that's being proactive. So this is also a very, very important key skill which we need to start imbibing from very, very start of our culture. Just a second. Nidhi. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And the next skill is continuous improvement. So as I said in the beginning, like for example, let's take, okay, BCom and MCom, for example. So there is a student who has completed his BCom and then he has completed his MCom. Then let's say he has done some certification as well. And now he is in corporate after good amount of years spent in education. Now he's in corporate. He's done bachelor's of commerce, then masters of commerce, and done some international certification. So now you're in corporate, your first year. Let's take, for example, this is a scenario. This is your first year. Now what mindset students come to corporate is, even I have experienced, I've handled few individuals, few juniors under me. So what I have noticed is, students come with a mindset that, okay, I know everything now. I've done bachelor's, I've done masters, I've done certifications. There is nothing for me to learn now. I'm just here to earn. So this mindset should go. The only thing to improve and sustain is continuous improvement. You have to improve every single day. You have to learn new things. You have to learn new skills. You have to learn new shortcuts, new technology. Only then you can survive. There is no stage in corporate or in any individual's life wherein we can say that, okay, I know everything now. I don't have to upgrade. That is where the fall starts. That is where your empire starts declining. So the only thing, the key skill is, you have to accept that you need to improve continuously. If you're not improving, one of my professor used to say, if you're not updated, you're just outdated. So that is how it is. Like, let's take an example, of Kodak. Kodak, for example, it is a huge company. It was a very good company, but then it collapsed slowly because there was no improvement. Mm, no adaptability of new technology, etc. So likewise, there are many examples with us. So as an individual, if you have to survive the competition, if you have to beat the competition, the only thing is, you have to accept this very fact that we need to improve continuously. I think someone's mic is on. Can we go on mute, please? Okay, thank you. So let's just read this for better understanding. Continuous improvement, rapid improvement is a lean improvement technique that helps to streamline workflows. So we can see that performance measures, management purposes, process mapping, process analysis, you need to improve continuously. How can you improve continuously? By measuring your performance, by measuring your rewards, by having a goal in mind, and you have to make a self analysis as to what went right and what you can carry forward, and what went wrong that you have to leave it immediately. So these self analysis, no one can help you do this except for yourself. We have to make some time, have goals, and see how we are improving, in order to reach there. So one thing which we need to take from this slide is we have to accept the very fact that there is no stage in life where we can say that I know everything. Never. It's always that I know many things, but I still don't know a lot of things. And for that, the only solution is we have to start learning. We have to acquiring new skills, and we need to improve continuously. If we do not improve continuously, there are people, who will imbibe the skill and who will leave us behind. So we have to always be curious and improve continuously, be it in our skills, be it in our knowledge, or be it in technology, be it in our attitude. There is scope of improvement for everyone, because no human being is perfect. Everyone are improving, everyone are becoming better as days pass, as months pass, as years pass. So even we have to have the self analysis and make sure that we are improving on a continuous basis, because improving is not a act that it's done once and it's that's it. It's a process. You have to keep on doing it. The next very hyped up and hot skill which is there in corporate, which people are pursuing certifications, and there are so many things for the skill, is being agile. Anyone can guess by reading this slide also, if you can understand, and just tell me what is your understanding of being agile. I'll just give you a few seconds. If you have heard this anywhere, and after reading this slide, what's your understanding and take on this particular skill? You can explain it with some example, or
Like
whatever comes to your mind.
you should be able to change yourself according to the situation.
Perfect. Perfect. Very good. Someone else?
If
Anyone else
someone
wants to take
is
it up?
able to mold himself or herself according to the situation, the person is flexible enough to acquire any situation or to settle himself or herself in that particular situation.
Right. Right. Very rightly said. So basically, let's again go back to the school example. um, I don't know. We used to do this in our school. I don't know if anyone else has also experienced this. So what our teachers used to do is, change the roles of students every week. Okay, you used to sit here. Next week you will go and sit there. After that, you will go and sit there. So that everyone is
I think there is some issue. Your voice is not audible.
Hello, Tauqeer bhai, I'm not able to hear you. Can you please check your connection?
सैफ भाई आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
Ji, I'm just calling. So he's just checking his connection. Just a minute.
Hello team, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a second. I think there's a technical glitch. Just give me
No.
1 minute. Screen is not visible, right?
Yes.
Yes, only your name is displaying.
Yeah. Just a second. There's a technical glitch. Please bear with me for a couple of minutes. Hey team, really sorry. There's a technical glitch. That's why just few seconds more. Until then,
You
can
can share
someone,
your screen now.
yeah, I can share my screen. Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we were talking about, agility. So there were so many individuals, which were which couldn't, adapt to this work from home culture and weren't that flexible, and that's why they had to their performance dropped drastically, and they were eventually, even fired from their jobs. So these are the realities. So unless and until you're agile, unless and until you are not flexible, it's very, very difficult to survive. Let's take a famous example, of Nokia. Nokia was a very, very, successful mobile phone company. They were launched, they were, almost they did not have any competition. But once Apple pitched in, and there was Android, they refused to go for Android and bring in Android software and Nokia, because of which, we all know that eventually, slowly, the company itself, such a huge company, it collapsed. And likewise, there are many companies. If we see, if we go back and if we do a research, there are so many companies, just because of lacking this very quality of being agile, they just lost their share in the market. So as individual, if we have to survive in this competitive world, a tough competition of corporate, and they say it's easy to get in, but it's very, very difficult to stay. So in order to stay there, in order to, retain our roles, in order to grow, we have to be very, very flexible. They give example of a water. Water, you just put in whatever container, it adapts, it takes its shape. So likewise, in whatever role we are, we have to be, very flexible, and we have to be very welcoming, whichever team we are put in, whichever process we are put in. Because once we are in corporate, it's not like, okay, this is my qualification and this is my skill and this is the job I'll get. That never happens. That very, very rarely it happens. What happens is, you are put in some other team, you're supporting some other team, you're supporting some other process which you have zero knowledge on. But what you're expected is, you have to start learning, you have to be flexible, and you have to, jump to that process. If you can do that, you are here, you are in. But if you're not able to do that, then there's no other option than replacing you. So these are the realities. So we have to be flexible, and it's a God's gift for every human being. God gives this gift that you can be flexible. That's why, we start our life as a student, and then we go to college, then we become a corporate professional, then we run a family. Everywhere our role is different, and unknowingly we are playing different roles at home, at college, at office, at society, when we are driving. Everywhere we are, being flexible and adapting different roles. Only thing is, we have to execute this in corporate as well. So this is a very, very, hot skill that is, looked at, especially in this era, before the recruiters hire. The next thing is ownership. Okay, so let's again, go back to the school example. So we see two types of student in schools. One are those students who are, not at all active. They just, come, just see whatever the basic expectations are from them. They just study and then go back. And there we see the other crowd, wherein they participate in, in the co-curricular activities. They are into singing, they are into photography, they are into debate, they are into quiz, they're into a lot of things other than school, other than just those academic expectations. So basically, once you are in corporate, you're given a set of uh, expectations. The expectations are set prior, even before you are on the job. There are expectations, and once you meet those expectations, you can survive in the job. But in order to grow, you have to do something extra. I read a very, very beautiful quote which said, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. So you need to do that little extra. What is that little extra? Is you have to take up ownership. Ownership is basically whatever task is in your hand, you have to own that task. You have to feel as if Since your name is in the end of the task, it's that you have executed this task. You have to make sure that it's the best. No one can, better that. I was watching some seminar a few years back. So a very nice quote had come up there from a very famous personality. He said that his mom used to tell him that कि बेटा कोई भी काम जब तुम करो तो इतनी अच्छी तरीके से करो कि उस काम को भी गर्व हो कि उसे तुमने किया है. So basically it says that you have to put in your 200% to whatever you do, so that that work itself feels proud that you have executed. So you have to own things. You have to start owning things. One of my leaders at Amazon, one of my managers, she said a very nice thing which actually helped me grow. So what she said was, don't ever think that you're an employee of Amazon. Always you have to think that you're the owner of Amazon. And once you have that feeling, only then you will, stop looking at, okay, these are my working hours, these are my goals, this is what I have to do. You'll never do that. Since you feel that this is your business and you're running it and you own it, you will have that high level of dedication. Instead of just looking at, okay, I'm working for this company, you should always feel that I own this company, this is my business, I'm the owner of this business, I'm the owner of this company. And once you have that mindset, your level of dedication will be very, very different. So you have to own things instead of just working 9 to 6 and doing whatever is asked to do. You have to be passionate enough to go that extra mile and take up new responsibilities, small responsibilities, like for example, okay, now there is a team engagement activity, okay, I'll take this up, I'll drive this meeting. Okay, there is some Kaizen activity in continuous improvement in quality. Okay, I will take it up, I will ensure, I will make sure how we can improve the quality of our team, and I will drive this. So these initiatives, when you take, no one will come and ask you for it. When you go and ask for it, it gives you great recognition, which helps you a lot growing in your career. So we have to be passionate enough, and we have to start owning things instead of just doing what we are asked to do. Mm. There is a very a few days back, I just heard from a very famous person. He was speaking on passion. What is passion? So we have read many many things on the internet, and we have heard many things about passion. But that was the best thing, best definition actually I heard about what is passion. So he said, like, um, the difference between passion and duty is that duty is that you do what they tell you to do, and passion is you tell them what they have to do. Duty is you go so far, you go where they tell you to go, and passion is you go so far that they tell you to stop. Duty is like you do it because you have to do it, and passion is you do it because you want to do it. So these shifts we have to bring. We have to think that we are the owners, and whatever task, maybe it's a small email or a huge meeting, whatever it is, since your name is on that, you have to make sure that you give 200% and you own that thing. So these things give you recognition, and these are the things that make you stand out of the crowd, that give you that uh, protocol to grow in your corporate life. So this is the next skill. And the next skill is exceeding expectations. Everyone meet expectations, and meeting expectations is not what is expected. Actually, what is expected in order to move forward in your career or any role of your life, be it personal or be it professional, the only thing people are looking at is exceeding expectations. You have to, as I said before, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. So that little extra achievement is what makes you different. And that's what makes you makes people hire you and retain you. So there are always, goals set even before you are hired in a job. There are goals set for that particular role. So your job is to meet those expectations. But what you have to do as a homework is you have to set expectations for yourself. Okay, company is asking me to achieve 100, but I'm going to achieve 150. If you have those standards, then you will achieve somewhere between 110 to 120%. That is what exceeding expectations is. You have to set goals which are very, very realistic, and you have to work towards it, and you have to make sure that you're not meeting expectations but you're exceeding expectations. And one very, very positive thing of exceeding expectations is when you're having a mindset of exceeding expectations, only then you will even meet expectations. If you just have that mindset of meeting expectations, you will never even meet the expectations, forget about exceeding them. So at the very first day of our office or wherever we are working, whatever business we have to make sure that we are not here to survive, but we are here to grow. The next is results versus reasons. Okay, I'll just take a pause here. Team, are we following? And what's your take? Do you find this interesting? Are we with the flow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any questions in between you have, or you want to share any experience relating to that particular attitude? You can, anytime stop me and mute, and you can share things as well. Anyone else want to confirm? Definitely, we'll have a few minutes at the end of the session. We'll park a few minutes there for Q&A. But before that, also, if you have, I'm completely okay with that. Are we good to go?
Sure, sir.
Okay. So the next thing is results versus reasons. You can see in the picture, you can have results or excuses, not both. So when I was in school, like I think 8th or 9th standard, our school, they had hired some organization wherein they gave us a motivational talk. So we had that every week, every Friday early morning around 5:30 to 6 a.m. We had to report to the auditorium, and we had those sessions. We used to feel very, very bored to wake up so early and go. But then I think that was the right age for that strong inputs, which we carry till date. So in that in that session, I remember I was in 8th or 9th, but I remember as if it was yesterday, which was so important, where the speaker, she said that losers give reasons and legends give results. I repeat, losers give reasons and legends give results. Uh, so everyone has reasons for their failures. Everyone. um, this happened with me, that's why I couldn't do it. My health was like this, my family was like this, my financial circumstances were like this, I did not have technology, this, the blah 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 blah. They'll have n number of reasons for not accomplishing. And for the people who accomplished it, they'll just have one reason, to succeed, and they'll be successful. So likewise, we have to come out completely out of that culture of giving reasons and giving excuses for not achieving things. Rather, we have to have that strong willpower and that one reason for achieving things, and we will definitely do it. Mm. So we say, where there is a will, there is a way. But our education system has taught us that there is no way, there is only a will. So Sorry, my bad again. Sevve, are you on call? Can you put me as a co-host?
जी. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tauqeer bhai, you can share now.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever goals are set, the data is driven from globally. It's worldwide data, and they make the analysis and they set the goals. It's not like no, these goals are not achievable. Those goals are very, very achievable. That's why those goals are set. So instead of just giving reasons that we cannot achieve it, we have to come up with solutions. We have to come up with steps. We have to come up with strategies in order to achieve those goals, especially in the pressures, and also with the people who do not have that drive, that inner drive to compete with yourself and grow. They tend to give reasons, and they find faults in each and every job. Okay, in this job this is not good, in that job this is not good, timings are not good, the goals are not good, very unrealistic, pay is not good. So if you have those reasons, you will never be able to perform. Always, we have that positive mindset and see that okay, these goals are set, other people are achieving it, and even I have to achieve it. And you have to have a very, very clear borderline between your personal priorities and your professional priorities. You can never mix those both. You cannot carry your office to home, and you cannot carry your home to office. You have to have that line, and you have to segregate it between your personal priorities and your professional priorities. You cannot mix both of them.
Sir, you are not audible.
He is looking into it. 1 minute.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm audible now. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't know what's happening today. We have done sessions before, but it's getting disconnected this time. Saif bhai, request to add me as a co-host again. We are almost done with the presentation. Just a couple of minutes, I'll take more, and then we are open for Q&A.
Yeah, you can share now.
Yeah. Apologies for the technical glitch, team, and thanks for bearing with me.
No problem. Sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your patience. So the next topic is, compete with yourself. This plays a lot with your mental health because you see folks, your teammates, give a lot of politics, this, that, and all, and they're performing better, etc. So the best thing is we are not here to compete with anyone. The only person whom we are competing is ourselves. We just need to compare ourselves every day with what we were yesterday, what we were last month, what we were last year. And if there is a slight of improvement also, we have to be very happy. And if there is no improvement, we have to work towards it. And we should never ever compete with anyone, and that plays a lot with our mental health. The best thing is we have to be our own competitor. We have to compare ourselves with only ourselves and grow. And one last thing is, okay, be nice to other people. uh, Especially in corporate, what happens is you start competing with everyone, and you see as if all are your competitors, and you're here to compete, and you make sure you pull down others who are performing well, etc. We should never do that. We have to be very nice to other people. And what happens is this brings in team culture, and we help each other and we grow unitedly. So we need to bring this very basic attribute of helping others also to grow. That actually eventually helps us to grow. And next is stop complaining. As I said, people lose their jobs because they always keep complaining about the work culture, about the pay, about the goals, about the lack of work-life balance. Wherever you go, I was seeing interview of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, the founder of Amazon and Tesla. The one catch I had from that interview was they both said that whatever job you take, whatever profession you take, whichever company you go, there are always going to be pros and cons. And if you look at pros, you will grow. If you look at cons, you will never grow. So whatever job we are in, it definitely has some, disadvantages, some cons. So we shouldn't complain. We should just abide by it and just, go with the flow instead of searching for perfection, because there is no job or no profession or no company which is perfect. Everyone has their own pros and cons. So once we stop complaining, that's when we start growing. And last thing is, there are situations which are not in our hand, and even though we give our best, even though we do our best, things don't go our way. We are not rewarded as we have to be rewarded. At any point of time, whenever we feel disappointed or whatever it is, we always need to embrace smile. We always need to challenge the situation, and make sure that we tackle it with a smile instead of having a sad face and having a negative attitude and feeling defeated. We should always take a situation as a challenge, embrace smile, and overtake the situation.
All
So
is well.
that's the last. Yes, all is well. So any questions? Open for questions. Let's have. I've exceeded the time. I think it's 5:1. So we can have questions for about 5 to 10 minutes. We can have questions as well as
Uh,
feedback. I'm open for feedback.
little bit give the clarity about that between the time management or work management between our competitor or our partners works. So how to handle them to manage and comparing with the stop complaining to the manager. In that case, what we have to do?
Okay. In that case, what we have to do is slowly we have to adapt things. Slowly we have to adapt things. Things are not in our control, and things are not at all designed for us to be in our comfort zone. Definitely we will have bad bosses, we will have bad companies, we will have bad processes. The only thing is, until we are in the process, we have to, embrace, smile, and come up with challenges, and face challenges and take over the situations. But if that's not happening, definitely that's not the end of the world. We have other professions, other companies, other processes. But instead of just shifting and running away from the situation, we have to give our 100% and do our homework, that where we are lacking behind. Are we, lacking behind in working hard, or improving continuously, or we are not meeting expectations? First we have to see where we are going wrong. And if we see that we are going wrong, we are going right everywhere, and we have put in our 200%, still things are not working our way, then definitely there's, an alternative for everything. But until then, we have to give our 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Sir, how can we limit our, distractions, like if we are in studies or we are at workplace? So how we can manage accordingly that we can limit our distractions at both the places?
Okay, very nice question and very much needed also. So, avoiding distractions at first, especially the distractions are too much at present times rather than before. The very thanks to mobile and free internet. So these are the realities. We have mobile phones in hand, and we have free internet. And once we scroll through the YouTube shorts or whatever apps it is, we never know how time just flies. So in order to avoid these distractions, what I feel is, one thing what we can do is, we have to be busy. We have to keep ourselves busy. And in order to do that, what we have to do is, we have to set tough goals for ourselves. Like for example, let's take a student. If a student is setting a goal for himself, that okay, I have to get 75%. So that's a bit achievable for him. And then once the goal is less, then he'll have a lot of free time. And free time is where all the distractions, they come up. So we have to set goals uh, so tough for ourselves, that we are very, very busy in achieving that goals. Because once we are busy in doing something, we will not get distracted. Likewise in profession as well. Like I said, 100% is your is your target. Then you have to set personal targets for yourself and say that okay, 130 to 150 is what I'm going to achieve. And as we said in one of the slides, we have to take ownerships. If at all we are having free time, we are done with whatever task is in hand, we have to use that extra time to achieve some key skill, or improve in our uh, qualifications. Or what we can do is, we have to take up some initiatives, be it personal initiatives or professional initiatives. And if at all things get boring, that okay, work, 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 studies, studies, if that is not happening, definitely as human beings we get bored. So what we have to do is, we have to involve ourselves in something productive, which we enjoy as well. Like for example, few people enjoy fitness, they enjoy being healthy, and they enjoy exercise. They can take up that. And few people have habit of painting, drawing, they can take up that. So whatever interests you, you have to take up that in free time. If you do not take up what you enjoy and what is productive in free time, then again you will easily fall into distractions. And distractions do not have a time limit at all. Once we get into it, we don't know when we'll get out of it. So that's one of the tip I can give. Hope that answers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks. Anyone else? Uh, Anyone else, team? Any questions? Even let it be out of the topic. If I'm able to answer, I'll definitely take it up. No questions. If there's no questions, I request, a couple of them from the audience, couple of you from the audience to give me a feedback as to, how was the presentation, so that it will help me, getting better for the next time. Except for the technical glitch, anything else you can definitely open for discussion, open for a positive, constructive feedback. If there are no questions, we can have a feedback of a couple of minutes and we'll wind up. Anyone can unmute and talk. Or you can just tell what was the takeaway, what helped you, so that it will be a revision for the entire participants. Team, let's be proactive. Let's unmute. No takeaway. Anyone can unmute and just talk. What's your takeaway from the presentation? Yeah, I could hear someone unmuting. Or is someone speaking
Amin
on
bhai,
mute?
we are waiting for your feedback. Amin bhai? Is Amin bhai there? Maybe not. If there are no more questions or feedbacks, maybe we can close the session. Is it okay to close?
Yeah, okay. Let's close the session. Thank you for your active participation.